you ever been involved in implementing a new software, let's say project management software, project control software for your organizations? What steps do you usually follow to ensure you have an effective implementation of the software before you roll that out to all the projects that you're managing or to the entire organization? Hello everyone, I am SHOHREH, the founder and director of Project Control Academy, the leading provider of project control training. In today's training, I would like to walk you through the 5-step process that you need to follow to ensure you have an effective implementation of a project control software. And I already assume that you have done your selection and you have shopped around and chose the best tool that you would like to implement for your organization, and now you want to figure out how to do it properly. In case you are still wondering what tools are available in project controls or what features you need to look for when you want to select the best tool for your organization, I have already developed other training that support that question, so make sure that you check the links down below. I make sure that I put the link to those resources so you can check them out in case you are at those early stages of choosing a software. But in today's session, I would like to cover the 5-step process that you need to follow in effective implementation of the project control software. So let's go. The first step that you need to do is having an internal system assessment. You need to have a meeting with your IT team and figure out whether or not your IT infrastructure that your company has support this new tool that you're introducing to the company. Whether or not there is any restrictions when it comes to firewall, security, to software or hardware restrictions, and any other things that you need to be aware of when you want to install that new software. So you need to first have that meeting with your team and figure out whether there's any restriction that you need to be aware of. Once you have that meeting, the next step for you would be to have that installation, to have the configuration and installation done. So again, the experts in your company, usually the IT, information technology team, can help you with the installation and configuration. You can also get the support of the vendor, whoever is providing you with that new tool. They can also be involved in the configuration and installation process, and you can get their help as well. So you need to go through the process and install the software. And once you do that, once you have the software ready, the next step is test run. Yes, test it out and make sure that that's the right solution that you're looking for. And you cannot get the answer to this question unless you do a test run on a real project. You know, when you shop around for a project control software or any other software out there, there are demos that you can go through or trials that you can have, or sometimes the software provider can show you how this software is, kind of having a live demo, giving you different features and things like that. By watching the software or by watching those, if they have videos or something, that alone doesn't help you figure out whether or not that's the best solution for you. That will help you a lot in filtering that down and figure out whether or not that's the feature that you're looking for and the software support those features. But nothing works best than running that software against a pilot project. And I recommend having a small, real project that you can test the software out. So have that in mind. So first of all, select that project that you want to test the software on it, and also select a pilot team who are going to implement the software on that project and learn from it and figure out the issues with the software or the pros and cons of the software. So you need to figure out the team as well as the project, and then do the test run and validate the software against what you are looking for. Another thing when it comes to the test run that I would like to consider when it comes to a software is testing the software provider support system. Whether or not they are there to help you and support you whenever you are facing an issue or you have questions, how good or responsive they are when you are in that stage, when you are doing the test run. That would be a very good stage to figure out whether or not you will have their support for the long run when you want to roll out this software for other projects as well. So how good and responsive the provider is also is very key. So that's what you do on the test run phase. After you do the test run, make sure that you do some develop some training manuals and training procedures. So based on the pilot projects that you have done, so conduct some internal training for those SMEs who are going to be for the software, the super users, have those training first for them. And also those people who are involved in the pilot project, make sure that they develop some internal training procedures and manuals, so when later you want to roll that out to the entire organization, then you have everything ready to go. So that's the next step. You need to focus on the training. And once you have that, then basically you follow all the steps that you need to do, then you are ready for implementation and rollout. But before you roll that out, roll out the software to the entire organization, make sure that you develop a rollout implementation plan, figuring out all the details that we just talked about, which project is going to use that software, whether or not you're going to do testing, when the testing is gonna done, when the training is gonna done, which group of people needs to go through which training, because depending on the end user, you might have different training available for them. So you need to figure those out, have clear milestone against that, and have that implementation plan developed first before you roll that out to different projects. And again, I don't know about your rollout plan. It can be slow transition, starting with a pilot project and then a couple of more projects until you roll it out to the entire organization. However you want to proceed, make sure that you have a plan in place and then do the rollout. So here you go. That's the 5-step process that you need to follow in order to have an effective implementation of project control software for your organization. To wrap up, the first step is assessing your internal systems and whether or not they support the software that you are going to roll out. The second step, configure and install the software. The third step, test and validate the software by doing some test runs and test pilot projects. Then step 4, identify some super users and provide training, as well as developing some training manuals. And finally, develop a rollout implementation plan and roll it out to the entire organization. So that's the 5-step process that I recommend whenever you want to implement a new tool, a new software for your organization to follow. And in case you're interested in learning more about this, I highly encourage you to check the recommended practice developed by AACE International called Cost Control Software Requirements. They went into the more details on the steps that I just talked about here. Also, we have more resources available for you that you can tap into, the top 20 project control software that you don't want to miss. Check that out. Also, how to select the best project control software for your organization. That's another resource you can check. And another one, top 5 features to consider in selecting your project control software. So all of those are available, plus some video interviews that we have done with some project control software providers. So they're all available on our YouTube channel that you can just go to YouTube, search for Project Control Academy, and then find the playlist for project control tools to locate those videos. So I hope this video added value to you and gave you some steps that you can consider next time that you want to install and roll out a new software for your organization. I want you to comment below on the steps that you have developed if you were involved in installing a new software, a new project control software, project management software, any kind of other software. What steps did you follow? Share down below on your top 3 steps that you recommend, and whether or not you want to add anything to this list that we have here. So I look forward to hearing your comments, and if you have any question, please feel free to post them down below. I will go back and review all of them and make sure to respond. And if you found this training valuable, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your connections, because we do this for free and it takes a lot of time and energy from us. So we need a little bit of support from you. Just a little bit of sharing or clicking the like give us the energy to move forward and do more of these videos. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, so anytime that we have a new video coming up, so you will be the first to notify about it and investing in your professional growth and development. With that, I wish you all the best, and I want you to do your best in everything that you do and make a difference.